Fans, I'm not even going to attempt to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you a white lie. I'm not going to tell you a partial lie. The truth is, this is likely the worst season y'all will have in the last 5 years.
Shut up the Bills! It's not a house game! It's not a house game!
Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, Bills, mafia, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Homie, now listen. Everyone play their position. Buffalo got a tradition. They say we tripping. They better get out our way. Top of the table, we flipping. We on a mission. Got an unstoppable team. Continue to follow your dream by any means. Buffalo, get in the Super Bowl ring. Cause we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, Bills, mafia, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Mafia up in your city, time to get gritty. Screaming and yelling, we bugging. Look at the red and blue.
This is an MVP year for Josh Allen. As an MVP voter, I said this last week. Josh Allen, he looks like an MVP. When you vote for MVP, and I can speak for myself, I think I'm one of 50 voters, you look at a couple things. Who's the best team in football? Who's the best player on that team in football? What do they look like as the best player on that team in football? And how much talent is around that best player on that best team in football?
Welcome back, Twiddle 2K, with another episode of Coast to Coast, coming fresh off of Josh Allen winning the MVP. Super Bowl is tomorrow, and we're gonna get into some of this offseason talk. We've been doing that lately on the Coast to Coast podcast, but I'm gonna be honest, man. I've been seeing so many terrible mock drafts where the Bills are related that I just felt the need to really just get up here and kind of walk through the free agents that we have coming up and go through the draft and go through a mock draft and basically explain why I'm making certain moves or why I'm targeting certain players or positions in certain areas. And I've actually gone through and done a good amount of film review on some of the players that we'll be looking at to draft today. So we are going to do 7 rounds. I'm going to try to knock this out quick. I don't want to be up too long. It's like 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I got to work tomorrow, but um, just got done watching the Celtics tear up the New York Knicks, and I said, let me throw some content together real quick and get it out here, man, because I'm tired of seeing this just some of the stuff that's going on with these mock drafts. Like guys are drafting offensive linemen with the first pick. They're drafting uh undersized defensive tackles, and it makes no sense. It's taking wide receivers early like the Bills need. The Bills need to really open up their offense. Bro, we were number 2 in scoring last year. Like, you guys gotta relax. There are pressing needs on this team, and I think the Bills need to go in a different direction. Um, in comparison to what they've been doing over the years when constructing this roster. So, um, yeah, without further ado, I'm going to share the screen. Well, first, we'll point to the free agents. So, these are free agents that we have coming up: 2 wide receivers, uh, running back, 4 defensive linemen, 2 guys in the secondary, tight end. Alec Anderson is there, but Alec Anderson is going to get re-signed. Reed Ferguson is going to get re-signed, so I'm not really even counting those guys. But I do believe that they'll bring back Mac Hollins. I do believe that they will try to bring back Ty Johnson. They'll try to probably bring back. Um, they'll bring back Reggie Gilliam. I don't know about Quentin Morris yet. They will try. They will have talks with Amari Cooper, see what type of money he's looking at getting, and free agency will determine what the Bills do in free agency will determine the priority of the needs in the draft. I will say this: no matter what they do in free agency, defensive line and second and helping the secondary are paramount. That they are of the utmost importance this year. So I'm gonna share my screen so we can get right into this draft and we can get through it really, really quickly. Okay. All right. So this is the PFF mock draft simulator. Obviously we picked 30th and um I set it to 7 rounds. I'm not going to do any. I am going to entertain trades, but I'm not going to take them unless they make a ton of sense. I'm not going to go and make trades myself yet. Um, I'll wait until I'll wait until we get through or until I get fully through the film of all of these prospects that uh, for these position groups. I've been going through defensive ends and defensive linemen. Like I went through some of the Oregon players, some of the Oregon film, and a couple of and some of the defensive linemen. Still got to go through a ton more. Still got to go through a ton of the guys in the secondary, safeties and corners. I will be doing that as well. Um, and, I'll tap into some of the receivers and a few of the linebackers, but those are not pressing needs. Like they're needs, but they're not needs that require us to go, the Bills to go and draft a guy in the first round or the second round at that position. Like we're pretty much fine. Like the Bills scored 30 points per game last year. They'll be okay. They can go out and get a guy in free agency if they need to, and go from there. So let's let's go ahead and get to the draft room. Um, yeah, let's go ahead and do that now. All right. So our picks 30, 56, 62. There is no third round pick this year. That was for the Amari Cooper trade. 107, 130. And we got a sling of picks in a row at the end of the fifth and the beginning of the sixth. And finally, a 6th round pick, 206. So a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10 picks right now. The Bills should end up with 12, depending on. No. Yeah, we should end up with 12 once they get done with the comp pick formula. The Bills should end up with probably another 4th and 5th round pick. Potentially, it could be a 4th and a 6th, or it could be 2 4ths, depending on how the formula, depending on how depending on where the free agency losses from last year fall into the formula this year. What that means is they will have thresholds based on contract value and um, wherever our guys that we lost fall in that value range, that'll determine what pick we get. So 13 million could be a 4th round pick. 17 million could be 3rd round comp pick. So wherever it falls, that's where we'll end up getting a couple extra picks. All right, so let's get this draft started and start. So while we're going through the draft, the Bills have I think 2 major needs, and that would be defensive tackle and wow, one of the guys I wanted just got off the board. Defensive tackle and corner. Defensive tackle for sure. Because Daquan Jones is getting a little old. He's coming into the last year of his contract. He's currently making $8 million this year. So they might want to move off of that, but that is what it is right now. He's making $8 million, and cornerback too. Rasul Douglas is headed to free agency. I don't think Rasul's coming back. He is still a heck of a player, just not at corner. Uh, I don't think that him at corner it makes a lot of sense for where the Buffalo Bills are going defensively. Last year, the Buffalo Bills played more man coverage than they normally play. It's not as much as they played in 2023, but they did play a significant amount of man coverage. And then when you go up against teams like um, the Baltimore Ravens, you go up against the Kansas City Chiefs, when you go up against the Cincinnati Bengals, when you go up against teams like that have some offensive firepower, you need to be able to play man coverage, help your defensive line out so they can get pressure on the quarterback, make those windows tougher, make those quarterbacks hold on to the football. Yeah, so that's where this defense is going. It has to go that way, and so defensive line, defensive tackle primarily, and corner are huge needs. Safety is another spot where the Bills definitely could upgrade if the right player's there. So let's get into it. So first position I'm gonna look at is corner because I think the drop off in this draft this draft class is huge once you get out of like the first like 2-3 rounds. Like once you get out of the second round, I think um, you're dealing with solid players, but not you don't you're dealing with obviously flawed prospects. Uh, Not that these guys are perfect, but we're talking about a higher talent base. The higher you are in the draft, obviously, and the Bills have done an excellent job of developing secondary guys, development corners. If you remember Levi Wallace, they got a ton of good years out of him, or solid years out of him. Dane Cook, Dane Cook, Dane Jackson, excuse me. Christian Benford's a 6th round pick. Jordan Poyer was, uh, getting ready to get cut off of he was getting ready to get cut off of the Cleveland Browns, and the Bills scooped him up, turned him into an All-Pro. Sean McDermott and his staff have done an excellent job in developing players in the secondary, whether it's corner or safety. So I say over the years the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to say we a lot because I am a Bills fan. Um, Over the years, we have spent a ton of draft capital on the defensive line, and it hasn't worked. We can blame we can blame everybody. We can blame the players themselves for not developing or not performing. We can blame the defensive line coaches at Washington, etc. Like we got really nothing out of those guys. I mean, the blame is all over the place. We can blame the coaching staff. We can blame all these people. But ultimately, it just seems like Brandon Beane does not do a good job in drafting for the defensive line. Gregory Rousseau, nice player. Nice player. Like him a lot. Ed Oliver, nice player. Like him a lot. A bit inconsistent, but still like him a lot. AJ Epinesa, nice player. Like him, but not the difference makers that you need. Not the Nick Bonitos, the Miles Garrett's, the Max Crosby's, the Josh Hines Allens of the league. We don't have those. Now, obviously, we don't pick high enough usually to get guys like that, but Max Crosby, I believe, was a 2nd round pick. Khalil Mack um, was a dog, but he was a dog from a small school. Like you can find guys in these drafts in different rounds in rounds outside of the first. They don't have to be lottery picks. They don't have to be top 15 guys. Um, you just got to find the right guy and develop them. So I'm looking at corner right here. Johnny Barron, I have gone into a lot of his film. He pops off the screen, sticky in coverage. He's a Swiss Army knife in the secondary. This young man can play safety. He can play slot corner. They have him playing outside. He finds the football. Where he ends up in the draft, they have him ranked 30th right now. Where he ends up in the draft is going to be determined by his athletic testing at the combine. So let's look at Jahdae Barron. Um, I mean, if you can pay attention to these coverage grades if you want. I don't, not really, but that's what I'm saying. Like, look where he lines up. They have him lined up outside. Like, primarily, he was an outside corner this year. Last year and the year before that, primarily a slot corner. They have him in the box a lot. Um, I don't know if you're a Bills fan. This to me screams Taron Johnson. Like, this is the perfect replacement for Taron Johnson eventually. But all you NFL heads, like if you're a Bills fan, we played against the Chiefs every single year, twice basically for the last like 4 or 5 years. They're basically like a division rival for us. We played them so much. This guy reminds me a ton of Trent McDuffie. 5'11", 200 pounds. McDuffie's a little smaller, 5'11", probably like 190. It's a little smaller, but Johnny Barron to me, uh, like I said again, his athletic score is going to determine a ton. But that's good. That's a good size for a cornerback, I think. Um, you see the versatility. The kid comes down in the run. Like he's a very, very good player. Do they have anything in there now? Okay. So for whatever reason, now they stopped doing write ups on PFF for these prospects. So that's the guy that I would look at. If you're at 30, his rank is 30th, a corner came off. There are, in my opinion, there are two more um, blue chip level prospects at corner. Maxwell Harrison, I like him, but he's coming off an injury this year, and he's also a little smaller, well 6'1", but 186. He's very good in zone coverage. I like him as a prospect. He does take the football away. He gambles as well. Um, not afraid to stick his nose in and tackle. Uh, the issue with him has been man coverage. So we'll see how he tests as well, and and we'll make that determination on whether he's a selection for us. But I don't think he's worthy of a first round pick. I think you need to get more bang for your buck out of the first round. That brings me to Trey Amos. Trey Amos is one of my favorite second corners in this draft. Probably my favorite. 6'1", 190. Um, great, 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 great zone corner. His zone grade. I would see like they're not even telling you like the zone grades and all that. It doesn't really matter. He plays well. Like he's a very good player. You look at all of these games, like very consistent against a very good offense. South Carolina, consistent against Georgia, consistent against Florida. Some of these teams that want to take the ball and put shit downfield. Um, what sticks out about Trey Amos is his ability to recognize route combinations. So I'll pull. What I'm going to do going forward is we'll really get into these mocks. I'll have a couple of clips of film on each one of these guys, and I'll put it out there, and then that'll show you for the video list for the video watchers. It'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. For the audio only folks, I'm sorry. I'm just going to try to be as detailed as possible. His ability to pattern match though is, I think, the best in the league. I think the best in the draft. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Jade Barron's close. He's very close. He's close because he knows. Like Barron jumps a lot of routes. He's very sticky in coverage, but Amos is sticky as well. Um, Last year he played. He was playing for Alabama. The year prior, and he locked Brian Thomas Jr. down. Brian Thomas Jr. Uh, had a breakout season as a rookie for the Jacksonville Jaguars this year. They put this kid in off the bench because the starting corner got hurt, and he came in there and locked Brian Thomas Jr. down for the entire game. So the coverage skills are there. When I say pattern, when I say route pattern recognition, um, he's in zone coverage. They're running clear routes to move him out of a certain area so that they can throw the football there. He knows what's coming breaks off of his route, makes plays on the football. He does this very, very often. Excellent at setting the edge against the run. He's physical. He will come down and press. He will come down and help out against the run. He's a sure tackler, and tons and tons of experience on the outside. Like that's what he is, a true outside lockdown corner. And I think if you take a guy like this and you pair him with uh, Christian Benford, like you can't go wrong. I mean, it makes everything happening in front of those guys a little easier. Your pass rush is gonna have a little bit more time to get home. It's going to force teams to throw the ball towards the middle of the field, which is the strength of this defense because of the safety and the linebacker play, or the way it's historically strength of the defense is in the middle of the field. So. Um, and that's what you want to do. You want to force teams to play left-handed, play into what you want to do. And the Bills' strength of their defense has usually been, over the years, the middle of the field. So if we can get a guy that makes it difficult to throw to the outside, let's do it. Uh, but I don't want to just stop, and I don't want to just keep, only looking at corners. Let's see what safety prospects are out there. Let's go to safety. Maybe watch. Now, I know his rank is 86, but this kid is a perfect fit for the Buffalo Bills. 21 years old, 6'3", 230 pounds, 227 to be exact, 230 for real, for real. He is the safety version of Jahdae Barron, just bigger. Like, just think Kyle Hamilton with like 4.3 speed. He is a difference maker. Lines up everywhere. You can play him in the slot. You see here, you play him in the box. You can play him in the deep third. The Bills love interchangeable safeties. So with Taylor Rapp being able to play in the box and also being comfortable in a deep half or a deep third, you add a guy like this who has played as the single high safety of South Carolina, a team that likes to blitz, um, that's also played in the box and come down and had to cover tight ends. This is a dream come true. This is a huge piece on the chessboard for a guy like Sean McDermott. Like this is the queen on the chessboard. This size, um, he's projected to run a 4.3, low 4.4, and a 40. Y- You know, I mean, for a team that wants to stay in the nickel, you add a guy this size that can move like that. It's like having a fast linebacker. When you match up against teams with great tight ends, you want to have a guy like this. When you match up against a Travis Kelce, against an Isaiah Likely, against tight ends of that ilk, you want to have a guy that can basically erase those other guys off the field. So um, I don't think he'll be here. I don't think he'll be available at 30. But if he is, that is the pick. Like that's the pick. But for the purposes of this mock, I'm not even gonna go there. And then we're already 20 minutes in and I haven't made a selection yet. So I promise you I'll go faster after this picture over. I also like Andrew Makuba. He's a little smaller, but definitely another player that I would take a look at. Lathan Ransom, I have to get into his film and see if he is he is more of a deep safety. So I'll get into his film and we'll talk about those guys as well. Xavier Watts, same thing. I don't know how to get into his film, but he's another guy like the Bills would love to have him if he's available. Probably in the second round, they'll take him. Um, and yeah, let's go there. So all right, skip that. Let's go D tackle, defensive interior. All right, so we'll talk about some of these guys in the second round. And last but not least, wide receiver. Yeah, nah. He would be a nice fit here, but like I said, wide receiver is not a major, major need. Not a big fan of Jack Sawyer. That's why I'm not even paying attention to him. I think this is a little too high for Ezrique. Because Landon Jackson, like him a lot, a lot. All right, skip all that. So we're gonna make the selection here, and I'm going to go with. I'm gonna go with Johnny Barron here, and Trey Amos is my top corner, but because of the injuries that um because of the injuries that Benford has suffered over the last few years, as well as the injuries that Terry Johnson has had. Both of those guys have consistently missed games. You got to have a guy that you can plug in wherever you need him, and that's Johnny Barron. Barron's going to play on the outside, and then if Terry Johnson goes down for 3 or 4 games, you can take Barron and move him into the slot, and you're fine. You don't have to worry about Cam Lewis being in the slot. Not that Cam Lewis stinks or anything. I like Cam Lewis a lot. Love Cam Lewis as a player. Love Cam Lewis. Johnny Barron's better. So right here, I'm gonna take Johnny Barron, and we're gonna go like Trey Amos is gonna be there he is. He went to the Giants. All right, whatever. So our next pick is 56. We've already taken care of corner. We will hit corner again in this draft, but just a little bit later. There are some other guys that I like. All right. Now we are at pick 56. This was the trade that we made with my Minnesota. They gave us their second round pick. I can't remember exactly what the trade was for, but um, yeah, we got pick 56. And we're gonna go and take a look at defensive interior, right? All right. So um again, we talked about the Buffalo Bills pending free agents. What you need here is a Daquan Jones replacement, right? You need a guy that's going to come in, a space filler, a guy that's going to eat up blocks. He's going to take up space, and he's also going to wait. Where is? Oh, Alfred Collins is gone. Wow, folks, this is wild. Yeah, I don't like this. All right. Anyway, but I'm going to bring him up because this is somebody I think the Bills will um, love to take. I watch. I've dug into his tape a little bit as well. Mostly just defensive end so far, but I did look at some of Alfred Collins' tape. He's perfect for what the Bills want. Right, 6'5", long arms, 320 pounds. Excellent athlete, explosive off the ball. Knows how to get skinny. Will take on double teams. Stout against the run. He's interchangeable. You can move him out um, from one tech to three tech, even out to five tech. You can move him out, like you can drop him in coverage, and he's comfortable. Like he's not a fish out of water. The height and the size uh, definitely help with his ability to sit in coverage and take little areas of the field away. But he's just perfect. He would actually be perfect, but he is not there. So the next selection would be a guy like Derek Harmon. I am not I am not the biggest Derek Harmon fan, but I will say this: the profile is there. 6'5", 310. Not nearly as athletic as Alfred Collins, but nevertheless, he is still a very solid defensive tackle. More of a pass rusher than a run stuffer, but 6'5", 310, has the frame to put on a few more pounds and be more of a two-gapping defensive lineman. Very good against the pass. Big guy, knows how to get his hands up. Has been an excellent pass rusher as well. I think I said that multiple times already, but Derek Harmon is another guy that I like here. Darius Alexander, more of a three-tech, out of Toledo, 6'4", 310. And I know that these guys all are like kind of built similarly. And you probably saying, well, why are you saying one of these guys is a two gap and one of these guys isn't? You gotta watch the film. You gotta watch the film. You gotta watch how these guys play. Um, I think Darius Alexander could be very good as a one technique. I would want to add another 10 to 15 pounds to him. Um, his arms are not nearly as long as your Alfred Collins or your Darius Allen. I mean, not Darius, but your Derek Harmon. You see it from the film, but he's extremely explosive. Very, 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 very quick off the snap. Very, very quick off the ball. Uh, Great hand usage. His punch is very powerful. Um, and he's tough. Like he's a very good compliment. He would be a very good compliment to Ed Oliver, and he was good against the run, albeit in Toledo, but still. So um, I'm actually not sure where I'm going to go here because this is my guy. Okay, Deion Walker, 6'6". He's more like 6'7", 345 here. He's more like 350. Um, Not even 21 yet. This guy to me, the first couple times I watched him, I said to myself, "This guy is Chris Jones part two." Uh, and you say, "Well, why do you say that?" Well, look where they line him up over the tackle, 230 reps in 2023. B gap. They line him up everywhere, whether it's inside or outside. It doesn't matter. This kid can play everywhere. The the biggest issue with him, why his run defense grade is so low, is because he has a high pad level. He is, I mean, he's tall. He's super tall. Like, he doesn't play with good leverage, which sometimes gets him stonewalled in the pot in traffic, especially when he's playing on the inside. Obviously the offensive lineman is going against the smaller them. So what they do is they get underneath his pads and then they kind of escort him out the way, or they hold him in a spot where he can't really do anything. So in order to change that, or make him more effective, they moved him to the outside. They played him at 5 tech. He's quick feet. I've never seen a man this size um, use basketball moves to get by offensive linemen, but this guy is doing it. He's setting guys up with stutter step, hezzies, and then spin moves. He's got great counters off the edge as well. Obviously he's going to be a good run set. He's going to be a good edge setter because of his size and his ability to move his feet laterally. He's very good at setting the edge against the run. Um, I think this is a guy that can come in and help you day one. As a space eater, he's not going to give you the production that you probably will get from some of these other players like a Darius Alexander, Alfred Collins, or a Derek Harmon. But I think if coached correctly, if developed correctly, this is a top three, top five defensive tackle in the NFL in a few years if he's developed correctly. Like the size, the profile, all of that stuff is there. The footwork, the quickness. I mean, it's all there. It's just got to be cultivated. And you know, I don't know if the Bills can do it, but I would take him and try to figure that out. The Bills did bring in a bunch of new defensive line assistant coaches, so maybe that's the avenue that they're going. But here, because we want to stay in a nickel in Buffalo, I'm going to take Darius Alexander, even though he feels more like a 3 tech than he does a 5 tech. I mean, doing 1 tech, but I think if you pair him, you have a year with Daquan Jones still there, and if you pair him with Ed Oliver or passing downs, like I think his hand usage, his pop, his punch, like he's going to be effective. He's going to make teams pay for doubling Ed Oliver in the middle. So I'm going to take Darius Alexander here, and I probably should take Derek Harmon, but it's a mock, man. It's not real. All right, let's move on. Oh my God, just went. All right, yeah, that was the guy that I wanted. I wanted Jared Ivey on the edge. Probably should have looked through the edges before I made that selection. I would have grabbed him. But prototypical size for what the Bills want, 6'6", 285. Put him out there on the edge. He is violent on film, violent, and I love every bit of it. He is extremely violent with his hands. His motor never stops running. Um, turns power to speed very, very quickly. Turns speed to power very, very well. Um, just a kid that you can move around. You can put him inside. You can put him outside. You can put him. It doesn't matter. Jared Ivey is a dog, man. I actually love Jared Ivey. All right, so where are we at? We've made 2 picks so far. We took Johnny Barron and we took Darius Alexander. Now, there is not, I don't believe there is an edge prospect that I like at this point right here. Not a fan of him. I got to check him out, but this I think is a little too high for him. This is Barry Sorrell is the guy. Like I love this kid. I think he's a stud. David Walker, more of a pass rush specialist. Yeah, I'm not too crazy. I gotta look at his film. I don't want to say I'm not too crazy. I gotta check a few of these guys out. Checked out Josiah Stewart. I'm good. No thanks. A little small. Lacks a pass rush bag. Like he's kind of. I'm just gonna beat you with speed, and if not, there really is no interior counter. Not super great against a run. Doesn't rush with his hand in the dirt at all. I haven't seen it yet. Um, and I watched what was it, 3 games, three different games of his for this past year. Just a he's more of a 3-4 outside linebacker, outside linebacking pass rusher. That's just what I see. Uh, Savion Jones, his tape was terrible. This kid, Oladejo, killed it in the Senior Bowl practice this week. But there's a trade available with the Colts. And there is not really anybody that I want to draft right here. I could go corner again, but that would be fine. No thanks. Caleb Williams. No, no. Well, because there isn't anybody else that I really, really like here, I will take the trade down. And I'm just doing this because I know that I can get away with it. I'm going to take this and you give me a 5 next year. No, that's not enough. So let's take that. Give me a 4? How about a 3? Okay. So I'm going to trade my 2 and get a 3 and a 3 back. 3 for next year. I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. Let's offer this trade. All right, cool. So let's see if Wari makes it to us, because that's the guy we're going to take, folks, at 80 if he's there. We got a few more picks to go. He is there, folks. We made it. And ladies and gentlemen, we got him. All right, we're taking Nick Wari. We talked about this already. No need to rehash it. We got the guy that we want. Now we got to pay attention to edge. Um, so let's see if. Oh. So Barrett Sorrell just went to the Cleveland Browns at 102. That stinks. But look at all this green, man. See these grades? Solid player, man. Definitely an outside guy. I don't. I watch his film. I don't pay attention to any of this. He is a solid player. 6'4", 260. Solid size for I think to compete for a starting job in Buffalo as the opposite edge rusher to Gregory Rousseau. I think having a guy like this who wins with a little more speed and he's a little more technical with his pass rush bag, um, Hand usage is very good. Has inside and outside flexibility. Uh, knows how to work off of knows how to work off of stunts, knows how to work past the tackle, even if the tackle is giving him the outside, he knows how to work through that. If the tackle is trying to take that away, he has the ability to use his hands to counter back inside. I watched it multiple times on film. Baron Sorrell is like that, man. Like this dude is like that. But in this mock, he is a Cleveland Brown. So you leave me no choice, man. I mean, Deion Walker is still sitting here. Like I said before, he has played the five tech. Um, and we know Chris Jones is lines up on the outside as well. So we're gonna go ahead now and we're gonna take Deion Walker with this draft pick. And we just doubled up at defensive tackle. Um, and listen, it is what it is, right? We'll play him on the outside at times, and Darius Alexander on the inside. And sometimes he'll play on the inside. Deion Walker will play on the inside, and Darius will sit down. Or Darius will play, and Ed will come out. And then we'll have two bigger defensive tackles in there. We can do that against the run. That would be perfect, especially in the nickel, um, which is where we're staying. So, all right, this is pick 130 in the fourth round. This is about the spot where I would really like for the Bills to address um, the wide receiver. I would look to take a wide receiver. So let's go back to our picks. Taking a corner, that was a big need. This is a day one starter, guaranteed. Darius Alexander addresses the size and athleticism issues that we've had at the defensive on the inside on interior defensive line. Deion Walker, taken in the fourth at 107. He can play on the outside. So that's another edge presence. He does win on the outside with speed. He does win with power. He is a very good athlete, and he moves very, very well for his size. So putting him out there um, doesn't. I don't think it hurts at all. Nicky Minwari is just like he's a freak. I mean, he's a freak. Like this dude is 6'3", 230. He's gonna run a 4.3. Gonna run like a low 4.4. Um, good ball skills. Comes down and affects the run. It's like having an extra linebacker, even though you're sitting in the nickel. Perfect for exactly what we want and what we do here. So now it is time to go after some secondary needs that the Bills have, and that would be linebacker and wide receiver. So where are we at here? Billy Bowman at safety would be nice right there. Um, ooh, Shamar Turner. He had a terrible year. Wow. 6'4", 300 though. I mean that's another place I'd like to look. Quincy Riley's another corner that's intriguing. Kobe Hudson, good. All right, so let's take a look at the wide receivers that are available. So Kyle Williams, I think what is he, 6'3", 200? No, 6 foot, 186. This is a deep threat type guy, right? He's got 14 deep catches, 454 yards. That's pretty good. He's playing in Washington State. If you play Washington State, that's like Pac-12, right? That was like the Pac-12. He's playing against. Did he play against Washington? No, he didn't play against Washington. Oh, yes, he did. He did 8.1, which is not great, but his receiving grade is pretty solid. Um, let's see, what is he gonna run? Let me see. I'm gonna check something out. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at Kyle Williams. Bigger, 6 feet, kid from California. I don't know how you gonna handle that cold. Um, So like a lot of this is just projected. Arm length I don't love. Uh Obviously the weight, I mean it's fine to be an outside guy. The 40 time, I mean it's cool. They got a projected 6th round pick. Supposed to release packages. Natural deep ball tracking ability jumps off the page. Again, I have to get into this film, and I can make a better decision based on that. Uh, but anytime you have a guy that's like 180 pounds, 6 feet, you worry about his ability to get off the line. Not everybody's Stephon Diggs, who's excellent at getting off the line, no matter who was in front of him. He did it very well. No matter who was in front of him outside of L'Jarius Sneed. It was like the only guy that just consistently locked my man's up. But all right, let's get back to the draft. Kyle Williams is sitting here. I don't love this pick. I would have taken Pat Bryant, but Pat Bryant's gone, and Tony Horton was another guy that I was looking at. Barrett Carter's another guy I like. Joshua Farmer's another guy I like. Wow, this is pretty high for Antoine for Ryland. That's pretty high for him. But all right. So Nick Nash, small school guy, but got some good size to him. 6'3", 195. Um, Another guy with, deep catches. And the problem here is just I don't know about the competition. Like, yeah, you cooked against some of these schools, but I mean, look at these schools. Cooked against Stanford. Stanford stinks. Oregon State, Wyoming, like these schools stink. Nevada, Washington State, they're not good. So, um, but Nick Nash, is a solid prospect. I probably would not take him here. I don't think I would take him here. Yeah, I'm not taking. I'm not going to take him there. Let me look up Nick Nash real quick or Draft Buzz. Okay, Nick Nash, 6'1". There's a lot of ads on this. I hate this site for that. Um, 40 time I don't love. Projected to be a 4 or 5. Arm length a little bit better. Um, yeah, I mean it's giving Gabe Davis right now, and we don't want that. We don't want Gabe Davis again, right? So let's pass up on him. And let's see. Antoine Wells Jr. I like Antoine. I like him. Um, but just no, not right. Not here, not now. Ricky White, definitely a player that I would consider right here. Only 9 deep catches, 282 yards, but like he this is a good prospect. A very good prospect. Ricky White. Is he not in here? Let's see. Weird. He's not in draft buzz, folks. What's up with y'all? Let's see. I might be able to find him a different. Wait, what year are they? 2021. Come on, guys. Yeah. All right, folks. So draft buzz is bugging out right now. Okay, never mind. I found it. I found it. I found it. I found it. Relax, relax, relax. All right, where we at? Let's go to the second page here, folks. See what I'm doing. There we go. Ricky White. 40 time. uh, Freaky ass. All right. The match is getting a little freaky. Um, Arm length a little bit better. 40 time. Don't love it. Oh, what else? I mean, now this is more the speed I'm talking about. Jalen McMillan, Jalen Tolbert, they're more of your traditional X type receiver. Maybe not even your X, more of your Y. Maybe more of your Y receiver. Um, but just not the speed that I'm looking for. Consistently wins on vertical route, shows the ability to separate downfield. I mean, so did Gabe Davis. Dynamic after the catch with build up speed. No. Yeah, no. That's the part that worries me is the build up speed part because this is what we dealt with um with Gabe Davis and folks just know. All right, so where's my guy? There he is. This is the guy I'm going to take. Ty Felton. Um, don't be fooled by this. This is not correct. He's going to run in the 4.4s. At worst, he's going to run in the 4.4s. Um, and he's about 6 feet tall. This is the guy I really should have taken for him. For him, he's gone already. But yeah, Ty Felton is the guy I'm going to end up drafting. Fourth round grade, comp to Romeo Dobbs, Puka Nakua, Luke McCaffrey. Like that tells you all you need to know. Um, Savvy release package off the line, route running technician. Yes, big game performer. Yes, crafty yak threat with the shifts to make them. Yes, all of these things. What does it say? Lack burner speed. This is not true. I don't know who wrote this up, but this is not true. He is very quick, folks. I'm sorry. They're just not right. They're not right. So that's going to be the selection here. We are at what selection are we? At 130. Before we do that, let's take a look at linebacker. Kobe King. Yeah, no. I mean, some of these guys are tough. Like I like Denny Stutzman's a big kid, 6'4". There's some change. Jake Higgins, Iowa, like anybody on defense from Iowa, you just draft them, and you know they're going to be a solid player for the next 5 to 6 years. Small Mondon is a kid that I think um, the world of. I think he's a heck of an athlete. A little raw, but them Georgia kids, like they know what they're doing. Good player, Jalen Walker, similar coverage linebacker, like him a lot. Aaron Smith, undersized, not really a great tackler on film. Um, so I like Nicholas Martin as well, but these guys are later round picks according to this mock. So trades. I don't want to make any trades. We're just gonna draft somebody. I'm sorry. All right. We are going to take a wide receiver here. Unless there's a running back. No, there isn't. I like Kyle Williams. He's just not fast enough. Like I need that. We have to have that downfield threat here in Buffalo. So I thought it was the pick. He's the pick, guys. We're drafting Ty Felton here. All right. Let's move on. Now we're in the fifth round. Now we're gonna get into like some of these edges. Let's see who's available. We got a few picks in a row, or within a short amount of time. So we're just gonna take an edge. We're gonna take a linebacker, and we're probably gonna take an interior offensive lineman. Did we take a second corner yet? Because I don't think so. All right, no, we did not. And Dorian Strong is sitting right here. Dorian Strong, um, solid corner, purely an outside guy, very good in zone coverage, good size. I'm gonna take him here. I don't care what else is available. Uh, sorry, next pick, 3 picks later. Yeah. Um, let's see, where are we? I realize I have been looking at this screen the entire time and not this one. So, all right. Emory Jones Jr. is still here. This is not real. This guy's gonna go in like the first round, y'all. Del Fortune. What did we say we're looking for? All right, we took the second corner. Yeah, took the second corner. Got the wide receiver, interior offensive lineman. All right, so let's attack edge here. Okay, let's see what's available at edge. Edge. Wow. Okay, so we are not attacking edge in this draft. Yeah. So we got. I can't believe that, man. That's crazy. That was the guy right there. We missed him. Braden Swinson. We missed him. By one pick. Ugh. All right. It is what it is. Keep moving. So okay, so where are we? All right, so we just double dipped at corner. For depth purposes. I wouldn't mind I wouldn't mind taking a running back here. Yeah, well, let's see linebackers. Let's see what we got at linebacker before we do that. Jay Higgins. He's sitting there waiting for me. We're gonna take him. Yeah, folks, we're gonna take him. Okay. We're going to take oh no. This kid, this kid is solid, man. I know the numbers don't look great, but he is a fluid mover. I know the numbers don't look great, but yeah, like he does he does it all. This kid is going to be a monster at the NFL level. Um, I think he's going to test well. I think the world of this guy, but for the purposes of this mock, I'm going to take Jay Higgins here. No, I'm not. I'm going to take a running back. Let me see. What running backs do we have available? 'Cause remember, I told y'all, man, Ty Johnson might not come back, so we don't know. Um, hmm. So these are the two guys that I really like. Ollie Gordon, he reminds me a ton of like I'm not gonna say he reminds me, but I mean this is the type of guy that you want, right? Taj Brooks is another guy, big size frame, uh, can be a third down back. Let's see what they let me pull up some else real quick. Give me 2 seconds, folks. Give me 2 seconds. We go running back. We're gonna take a look at this. The 4-6-5 is what scares me away, right? And I know that I know that 40 times don't mean everything, but they are important. Ty Johnson is an absolute burner and he's a third down back. I don't want to not have that ability to, have a guy back there that's going to take the top off. So that's where a guy like Ollie Gordon comes in for running 4.45, which is right around what James Cook ran. Maybe I think Cook might have been a little bit faster, but at 200 and was it 225, 6'2"? Yeah, like this all day. Yeah, you love all of this. You love all of this. Arm length, 40 time, weight, height, wingspan, just pass blocking, not great. But the comps though, Shy White, Brian Robinson Jr., like you like that. Exceptional vision, uh, doesn't fumble the football, that's great. Soft hands and route running potential in the passing game. Okay. See the weaknesses. Pass sex technique needs refinement, though effort and willingness are present. I guess ultimately what we got to do, folks, is sign. Make sure we re-sign Ty Johnson. But in the event that we don't, Ollie Gordon is the draft pick here, so we'll take him at 174. His average is average draft position 175. We'll take it. Calvin Court just went off the board. It's good because I didn't want him anyway. Curtis Rourke, I'm going to take him here. Because we kind of need a backup quarterback. 6'5", 223. Yeah. I watched some of his film today, and kid's got a live arm, man. Got a live arm. So we're gonna take him with a developmental piece. And now we'll hit linebacker at 179. Since we did everything else we wanted to do. I'm sorry, guys. The edge is blowing my mind right now. Like I can't believe I neglected the edge position. Huh. That was not good. It's a good thing we still have AJ Epinesa, who has 6 sacks this year. Von Miller will be coming back as well. I know that's not. Um, I know nobody's really happy about Von Miller coming back, but Von Miller was still solid for us. Um, I don't think that the issue with the pass rush is on the outside. I think it's on the interior. And if the interior gets better, if the coverage gets better, which it will with this draft, you'll see more sacks. Um, I'm gonna jump out the gym, guys, and I'm gonna take small Mondin right here. That's developmental linebacker that I think can eventually be a starter for the Bills. I think he's got all the tools. And the last pick is gonna be pick 209, 206, 206. Where are we at? Hey, Ricky White's still here. Um, I'm gonna take Jimmy Horn. I'm gonna take Jimmy Horn Jr. 5'10", 170. Uh, he's a guy that can fly. He's got some speed to him. Oh wait, no, I'm not. Malachi Moore, it is, folks. I watched this kid on film. He's a dog. I mean, interchangeable safety. He can play everywhere. Played him deep this year. They played him in the box and the slot. Doesn't matter. This kid is interchangeable. He's not gonna be on the board this late in real life, but because he's here, I'm gonna double up. We already took Eamon Worry. Yeah. and Barron is there. We got another corner. Yeah, let's take another safety. Let's really shake things up. Um, we got a receiver, quarterback, and we took a running back. Yeah, I'm taking Malachi Moore, and that's going to be the end of our draft. Bang. Okay. So the grade is not going to be great, but I don't really care because of the value I think we got here. Again, the reason why I'm taking the picks that I'm taking, number one, the problem with the Bills this year, the reason why they could not beat Kansas City is because the referees are spotting us short. No, that's true, but that's not the reason. The reason was because we did not do a good job in coverage. We did not do a good job on third down of getting off the field. So, um, yeah. Oh, you should have taken. Yeah, I should have taken Jalen Royals. Probably right, but whatever. Uh, Johnny Barron is going to help that immediately. He's a sticky coverage guy. He's going to be opposite of Christian Benford, and good luck throwing the ball on those guys. Darius Alexander helps immediately on the interior against the run. Deion Walker, we're going to stick him on the edge at 5 tech for now, depending on, and we'll try to develop him going forward. But think taking Darius Alexander and then taking Deion Walker allows you grace to develop Deion Walker without having to have him come in and be an immediate impact. Nicky Manwari is just, I mean, he's a plug and play guy. He's probably if the Bills draft him, he's going to start, guaranteed. Um, he's just too good, too big of too big of a chess piece. You can do too much with him. Dorian Strong is a guy who will challenge for uh cornerback spot on the roster. He's going to be a depth guy. Sean McDermott and those guys do a great job with these kids at corner and safety. So I have no doubt that he's going to be an absolute monster um, in the system. Ty Felton, deep threat, is a guy that can get open. He had, I believe, I think he had 1,000. He had over 1,000 yards this year at Maryland in the Big Ten against Big Ten talent. So, um, yeah, he's a dog. Ollie Grove, we went through him. We went through some of his stuff. Um, I think that's a good addition. It gives you, listen, you know, if Ray Davis is not effective, then this gives you a guy who can come in and be a power back. Still gives you some of that route running, but also a little more size if you need to hand the ball off to a guy that's going to just fall forward and get you a few yards. Not that Ray Davis doesn't, but this guy's a little bit bigger than him, a little bit younger too. So we'll roll with it. Uh, Small Mondin Jr. Developmental linebacker, 6'3", 230, freakish athlete. Like the guy can run, he can move laterally. He is a see ball, get ball guy. Um, in Georgia, they do have their linebackers drop back in coverage. So I'm sure his ability to do that is there. And again, this is not a major need. Like you're bringing back Matt Milano, and you have Terrell Bernard. If Matt Milano does get hurt again, you got good snaps out of Dorian Williams. Um, you also have Buffalo Joe Andreessen, who's going to be in year 2 in the system. Same thing with Edifon Ulafosio, the kid you took out of Washington, the kid we took out of Washington the year before. Um, year 2 in the system. These guys are, growing into their NFL bodies and absorbing the playbook. They're getting coached up by some of the best in the world. Bobby Babbage was the linebacker coach before he became the defensive coordinator. He was a safeties coach as well. So, um, he's going to spend some extra time with these linebackers. And again, this gives you an opportunity to get this guy. And if he's good, then you give him a shot. You give him if he earns it, you give him a spot on the team. He plays special teams. He learns the playbook. You work on some of his technique, and you get him out on the field. Malachi Moore is a guy that can provide you safety depth. Um, Taylor Rapp has shown a tendency to go down and get hurt and miss games. A guy like Malachi Moore can step in. Obviously, you have Cole Bishop there, but not wrong with a little competition, and you want your safety room to be as deep as possible. You want to be able to throw different looks at teams. The Bills may want to go into some three safety looks, and you can do that when you have guys like Eamon Wari, Malachi Moore, and Cole Bishop. You can put three safeties out there, still not give up a ton in coverage, and be effective against the run. So there's a lot of options that the Bills have. Let's see, where do they rate this? Overall draft rating would be, and that's fine. But I think we got very good value, and picked up a third round pick for next year. So with that being said, tighten up your mock drafts, folks. Like if you guys are out here picking, um, if you guys are out here doing mock drafts for the Bills, and you take a wide receiver or offensive lineman as your first selection, just turn the camera off because you're wrong. You're wrong. Okay, that's not where we need to go. This is, in my opinion, based on what I've watched of this team and where we are as far as free agency goes and the state of the roster and the games that we played over the last year. I think this is kind of where we need to go. We need to get better on the back end. Get better on the back end, help the front end out. And, interior pass rush will not allow quarterbacks to step up and get away from pressure from the edges. I think if you get that, you force these guys, you'll see some sack numbers for AJ Epinesa and Groot, uh, Gregory Rousseau. You'll see their sack numbers increase. So that's what we want. We want interior pressure. A guy like Darius Alexander next to Ed Oliver on passing downs. I think that will happen with those guys. A guy like Deion Walker, you put him out there as an edge rusher on rundowns or first down or whatever, and you see what he has. If he stinks, if he's not ready, you sit him down and you bring back AJ Epinesa. But if he is good, then you got yourself a steal. Teach him how to play with his hand in the dirt inside. And, maybe his technique gets better. Maybe he gets his pad level a little lower. And maybe he becomes the dominant force at defensive tackle in a year or in the same season of his rookie year. We don't know. But either way, this is the mock draft for Coast to Coast. And, I appreciate you guys checking in, and go Bills. We're out of here.